It's not a secret that most, if not all, academics are under stress. Certainly sometimes part of my work weeks, or even months. I'm still figuring out how to develop strategies to manage my own stress, as they change over time. I also realize that postdocs that I work with approach their own resilience differently, which may require tailored support from me.
The article titles displayed on this slide show only part of the literature on the stress, anxiety, and burnout that many postdocs and faculty members experience. The reasons behind these signs of work-life unbalance can include a lot of different stressors, like lack of clarity regarding work expectations and the promotion system, juggling multiple responsibilities and demands, difficulty to get appropriate levels of funding, opportunities to get the mentoring and resources needed to grow and thrive, the level of inclusivity, professionalism and safety of the research environment, inadequate rewards, and our career prospects in academia. Family and personal situations may also play a part in how supported postdocs or faculty may feel.
The Postdoc Academy course module on resilience provides prompts and case studies to help postdocs reflect on stress and deterioration. It also acknowledges that failure is part of any professional process and suggests strategies that postdocs can use to bounce back from challenging situations, manage their time effectively, and build an action plan for moving towards growth and resilience.
The goal of this conversation is to encourage postdocs and their mentors to have conversations on the topic of resilience, from identifying sources of stress, anxiety, and burnout, define what work-life balance means to each of you, and come up with strategies to improve how balanced you feel.
First, let's focus on your definition of work-life integration, or how balanced you feel. For me, I usually have to think about this over an extended period of time. I may not feel imbalance on a given day, or even in a given week, but if things feel out of sorts for several weeks on end, I know I may need to do something differently or set more appropriate boundaries. You could use some or all of the prompts shared on this slide to reflect on this topic. How satisfied are you with your job? How much time and energy do you spend at work on average each week? Does this allow you to maintain an overall good level of health? Do you have a good sense of where your time is going? What do you do to rest and to have fun? If you are experiencing stress or anxiety, what do you have control over and can act on to reduce those stressors? What are barriers to resilience? What strategies have you found helpful to bounce back from a stressful situation? If you have a hard time answering these questions, consider taking the Healthy Work survey at healthywork.org. This survey is distributed by the Center of Social Epidemiology and is informed by research on occupational stressors. You will receive the results directly in your inbox, with indications on your risk level for various support stressors. This is a good moment to pause the video to reflect on these questions or take the survey.
Resilience is a balance between the individual healthily coping and the work environment and culture supporting this healthy coping. Said otherwise, coping is not about making individuals more tolerant to stress, but more about initiating reflection and discussions on strategies to reduce stressors and their effects on individuals. London and Noe conducted research on career resilience in the 80s and 90s. They emphasized that individuals who are coping are characterized by the fact that they believe in themselves, have the need for achievement and growth, are willing to take risks, and are able to adapt to changing circumstances, even when the circumstances are disruptive.
Importantly, they also emphasize that organizations have a crucial role to play in individual resilience by encouraging individual and unique contributions, communicating openly about the expectations and promotion system, providing opportunities for growth and space to take risks, and finally, healthy and safe working conditions. These are important characteristics of a workplace that welcomes and includes all workers and their unique contributions. Now is a good time to pause the video and reflect on your current work environment. If you are a postdoc, how does your work environment support your individual coping? How can you voice concerns and suggestions to make it more supportive? How could you help your mentor better support you? Do you have ways to advocate for postdocs in your department or at your institution more broadly? If you are a mentor, How does your department support you in finding a sense of balance between work and rest? How do you learn about the needs of your mentees and support them? How much room do you have to make your professional environment more supportive for yourself, other colleagues, and your mentees?
Many faculty and postdocs alike are concerned about their working conditions and have called for a structural change of the academic culture by encouraging their peers to take a step back, slow down, and do things differently, drastically sometimes, and intentionally. On the slide are displayed a few examples of such exhortations. First, finding joy in missing out and in focusing on what matters for you as a whole individual. This is a reminder that being a researcher is only part of one's identity. Second, slow science. This manifesto encourages researchers to slow down their research process.
We also provided a resource called Rest as Resistance. The goal here is to rest as an act of resistance against a culture that values overwork, often at the cost of our health or social life, for example. In Full Time is Full Enough, the author of this article encourages their peers to consider working for a reasonable number of hours a week. And finally, in Saying No, the authors of that article share how practicing their no has improved both the quality of their life and their research by choosing to focus on their priorities instead of others. Consider exploring one or more of these resources and see what they inspire you to change in your current work or research habits and practices.
The rest of this faculty toolkit contains mentor interviews sharing how they discuss productivity and resilience with their mentees. You will also have access to a reflection framework to help you prepare for your conversation with your postdoc mentee.
It can be daunting and hard to support someone on this topic, especially someone that may be struggling. You may also choose to seek help yourself. We have included resources that can support you in your mentoring role. We hope that you leave this module ready to have meaningful conversations on resilience with your mentees.